So welcome back to number 4 in the Menopause Diaries. I've got quite a few updates to give you about me personally. Been to the doctor, had my blood test done, got the results from the bloods, products that I've been prescribed. Right, let's talk about it. So I actually said to the doctor, could I have a test? I can't remember if I mentioned it on the last video, but I wanted to know if I could have a blood test to find out if I'm menopausal. So off of Trundle, went and had that done. And then what happened? Why I ended up seeing the doctor? Oh yeah, because of my skin, I wanted to go in to see, because I spoke to a pharmacist and they said, your skin's really angry, not sure if it's infected, you need to go and see the doctor. I can't give you anything over the counter. So I didn't know if it was menopause related or whether it's from wearing a mask. So off I went to see the doctor. I walked in and he said I'd got some sort of dermatitis. So we sat down, had a chat, and he prescribed me something called Fucidin, which was a cream that I started using straight away, and I used it, I would say, for about 3 weeks. I can't for the life of me find where I've put it. Because it didn't work, I've put it somewhere and I can't find it. If I find it in between now and editing, I'll pop a picture in. Anyway, I used that religiously twice a day for 2 or 3 weeks. Noticed no difference whatsoever. So I thought, I read the leaflet again. I did read it before I used it. I tend to, with new medicines, I don't always do that, which is a bit naughty, but I'm learning to do it. So it said, see results within 2 weeks. If not, go back to your GP sort of thing. So trying to book another appointment. Because of COVID, I wouldn't be able to get to see somebody for at least a month. And at the time, it was just, I don't want to say it's just vanity. It did make me feel awful having all this angry skin. I'll pop a picture in now. A lot of you will have already seen those photos. But yeah, it did on my self-esteem, and it actually got quite painful and sore and itchy, and it needs sorting. So I've got, where I work, I've got, it's like a private healthcare, but it's not a top pucker one that, you know, covers everything. But it does cover diagnosis, and a new thing that it's done, it's Benadin. You may have heard it. In fact, they started advertising it on the TV. It's only something like £11 or £12 a month, and you can add, I don't know if you have to work for the civil service. I think anybody can join it, and you can add your family for that. It's a really, really cheap one, but like I say, it only covers certain stuff. And a new thing that they're offering is a 24-hour access to GPs. So I thought, oh, let's see if we can, let's see if this works. So I phoned them up and we had a little chat, and they said, yep, can book you a GP appointment. I'm not sure when you're going to be seeing this video, so it might be quite old now. Booked me an appointment for New Year's Day. And I almost felt a little bit bad for having that appointment, because I thought, are other people with urgent things, you know. But then I've paid into it for 14 years. So I have used it a few times actually. But anyway, I had the appointment. What I did, I sent some, because it was only going to be a telephone appointment, I sent some photos to them. So the doctor saw them prior to the appointment. So we had another chat. I told him I'd been on the Fucidin, not worked. And he said, right, I'm going to prescribe you with something that's just flown across the room, with this. I'm not going to even try and pronounce it. I'll pop the name of it in the video now. This is a gel, clear gel, and I've only been using it for 2 days. And what it does, it forms, it goes on and then forms almost like a protective layer. And the only thing is, I think I might be putting too much of it on, because it started flaking off. What did Alan say it looked like? Cobwebs. It was coming off and looked like cobwebs. But I don't know whether it forms and then the stuff goes into your skin or whatever. Anyway, so I've been using it for 2 days and I've already noticed a difference. I'm absolutely delighted. What I'll do, I'm going to take a bit of my makeup off now so you can have a look at my skin. So you've got to bear in mind, I've just rubbed my skin, so it's going to be quite red. But hopefully as the video goes on, it will calm down. But I think that is healing. And I've not had any new spots, which I've been getting on a daily basis. They sort of, the thing with them, they do have little heads, which whether you should or shouldn't, I do pop them with like a sharp implement that I've got. Just very gently stab them, and then the pus comes out. Sorry, that's a bit gross. They're tiny, tiny little things, but I get new ones every day. Pop them, and then, God, I look a bit pasty, don't I, without any makeup on? Do you know what? I'm not sure if I'm actually due on a period. Do you know, my lips go blue when I'm due to have a period, and they seem to be a blue tinge. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, and then the spots go. They only last a day, but new ones keep coming each day, and I've not had any new. So I'm hoping that's just calmed down a bit now. So fingers crossed for me that that's going to sort my skin out. But I didn't talk with him whether it was hormone related, so I still don't know. Can you get dermatitis if you're on the menopause? Is it anything to do with that? I'm not sure. I probably need to look that up. But whatever it is, I'm hoping that's going to help it. So that's that bit. So period-wise, when I'm due on my period, I get blue lips, and I'm wondering if something might be happening. I have actually been having, I've never suffered badly with cramps, with the tummy cramps, but I get sort of, I call it ovary ache. I don't know if anybody else has aching ovaries, but I get like an ovarian ache. But my ovaries feel like they're aching, and I've had a little bit of that during the week, and I've been having the old sweet cravings a bit, so I'm wondering if something's coming. Anyway, so I went for 10 weeks without a period, and then I had one for 7 days, which I'm normally only a sort of a 3 or 4 day cycle. Not heavy, just normal. Then I went 11 days and I had another one for 4 days, which was very light. So that was back at the beginning of December, and we're now, I don't know when you're going to see this video, it's the 8th of January, and I've not had another one. So I'm wondering if another one's on its way. So back to the original GP appointment with, it was a male doctor. And I went with my skin, but then we started talking about other things. Because I'd had my bloods done, I wanted to just quickly chat about that. He looked at my date of birth, I think, and thought I was a little bit young to be menopausal, being 46, which you obviously can be. Had a look at my blood results, and he printed me this off. And then he said, oh, yes, I think you are menopausal. Well, not think. So we looked at, is there anything on here you shouldn't see? It's fine. That's his drawing for something. But he gave me this little printout from my bloods, and this figure here is the one that is important with regards to menopause. So anything above 20 is menopausal. Now, I don't know whether that means peri or full, because I seem to be going in between the two, I think. Because my periods haven't stopped, that's why I think I'm still peri. Because you have to go for 12 months without a period to be full menopausal. But he said it was menopausal. Anyway, so I'm definitely not a fake. I am on the menopause. Which was a strange feeling to finally have it confirmed. I think because in the back of my mind I knew, but then having it confirmed. So we started talking, and I said that I'd started to feel really uncomfortable down below. When I've been using I train on what's called a watt bike, so like a stationary exercise bike, and it got really uncomfortable down there. Quite painful almost, but very, very uncomfortable. I just felt the inside was not as comfortable as it should be, let's say. So I said that, and then he started talking about vaginal dryness, but I've still had a bit of discharge. Actually, thinking about it, I'm not sure. No, I've not had anywhere near as much as I would normally, like in between your periods. Anyway, I said to him, I'd heard that there was some sort of cream that you could use. So it's a combination of like a dryness of the vagina. Bloody hate that word. Dryness of the vag. And the actual walls inside were thinning or do thin during menopause. They thin, and I think that's what caused the discomfort. So a combination of both of those. So I said, is there anything you can do with that? Talked about estrogen. So he suggested that I take a look at the NHS website to look up HRT. He wasn't anti-HRT. Now I know a couple of my friends have said a lot of doctors are anti-HRT, but he's not. So I may well go back and see him again. In the short term, he said to try this. So this is the Vaginal Tablets, and they're called Vagifem, 10 milligrams. So I've got 24, and they're like pessaries. I'll show you one in a minute. And you're supposed to insert one twice a week. And he was quite insistent that they were for vaginal use only. I don't know if some people eat them. I'm not sure. But he said it has to definitely go in the vagina, which goodness knows. Anyway, so these are estrogen only, once, twice a week. He's going to see me, just to use in the short term. He's going to see me in 3 months to see if it's helped. Sorry, just reading my notes. And then he said some bleeding is common. He got this book out, a massive, great big, thick doctor's book, and started reading from it. So he said some bleeding could be common. And then depending on how I get on this and then everything else, we may go on HRT. So I will just show you one of these. So this is what they are. So inside the pessary, it's got a little tablet. So what you do, it's a bit like a tampon applicator. So let's pretend that's the entrance. You pop it in, stick it up like you would a tampon. And then when it goes no further, you press this little button and the tablet pops out inside in your womb. So I've used 8 so far, so 4 weeks in, and I have to say it is feeling so much better. So I would say within about a week, I noticed the difference. I couldn't believe it. With a bit more use of this, I don't know whether I'll end up keeping on these then, if that's the case. You know, if I stop using them, does suddenly it start getting painful again? I don't know if it thickens the lining just on a temporary basis. So I've got to go and see the doctor back in 3 months, see how we get on, and then he'll decide, or we'll talk about whether I go on to HRT. But at the minute, these are helping me, and I've not had any bleeding in between, which has been brilliant. So yeah, that's excellent in that respect. And then on my other things, my mood and sweats, let's talk about those. So I actually feel at the moment, and I don't know if it's these tablets that have made that difference, normal again. I know that sounds so odd, but I know you'll understand what I'm talking about if you're menopausal. But I didn't know if it came in waves, you know, a bit like periods. But at the minute, I don't feel menopausal. I feel absolutely, except for these spots, if that's caused by the menopause, I feel normal. My moods are back to normal. I haven't had any bad moods. My confidence is back. I'm not getting any sort of anxiety. This awful deep breathing that I was struggling with, having this, that has completely stopped, which I can't believe. I didn't know if I got into a bit of a habit with that. But that has completely stopped, and I've not been doing the deep breaths, not been getting any sweats. My sleeping is back to normal. I just feel normal again, which I just can't believe. I'm absolutely delighted, because I thought, I'm not a negative person. I don't suffer with anxiety. It really bothered me that that sort of stuff was happening to me. Now, I'm not going to say it's never going to happen again. This is where I need a bit of your advice. Did you notice going in waves? You know, did you go for 2 or 3 months where you felt normal again? I do really need to read up on this to find out if this is normal. I may have done that by the time I edit this video, but you know, how often do these waves of this awfulness come along and go? I don't know. But at the minute, I feel great. I'm better anyway, because I had a terrible cold for 3 weeks. So my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health are back to normal and are fabulous at the moment. And do you know what? I'm really appreciating it. I'm really appreciating that I've not got that discomfort. I'm really appreciating that I've not got a low mood. I've not got the anxious feelings. I've not got the deep breaths. And I think that's what's making me feel even happier. and I love it at the minute. I feel great. So that's the end of number 4, Menopause Diaries number 4. I've got a bit of a dry mouth because I've been talking for so much. I've filmed 7 videos today. I've been filming since 1:30 and it's now 5:30. So I'm feeling a bit jaded, to say the least. But no, I do still feel good, in all honesty. Yeah, so that's the end of number 4. I'll be back again soon when I've got something else to report. Hopefully no spots or bad skin, and hopefully long may the progress or back to normality continue. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.